In the previous lecture, we presented several exegetical problems in the wisdom collection known as Words of the Wise. Generations of commentators have suggested diverse answers to these and other difficulties. However, none of them were fully resolved until the discovery of the Egyptian wisdom text known as Proverbs of Amenemope. This is a collection of sayings delivered by an Egyptian sage named Amenemope to his young son in order to teach him the path of life. It contains 30 chapters, each devoted to a specific topic. The themes and values reflected in the book are typical of Egyptian wisdom. According to Amenemope, the ideal man is self-controlled and God-fearing. The Proverbs of Amenemope were first published in 1923. A year later, the Egyptologist Adolf Ehrman noticed striking similarities between this collection and the biblical Words of the Wise. It turns out that every single verse in the first part of Words of the Wise has an Egyptian parallel. Here are some representative examples. The translation of the texts follows that made by the biblical scholar Michael Fox. One of the parallels is an admonition against stealing from the oppressed. The book of Proverbs warns,
"Do not rob a lowly man because he is lowly, and do not oppress the poor man in the gate. For Yahweh will contend on their behalf and will steal away the life of those who steal from them."
Amenemope says,
"Beware of robbing the wretched, of oppressing the weak."
Another parallel regards ancient boundaries. The Words of the Wise cautions,
"Do not encroach on the ancient boundary which your ancestors made. Do not encroach on the ancient boundary, nor enter the fields of orphans, for their Redeemer is strong. He will contend against you on their behalf."
The parallel in Amenemope similarly warns,
"Do not displace the marker on the boundaries of the fields. Beware of encroaching on the boundaries of the fields. Do not traverse another's furrow. The encroacher will be caught by the powers of the moon."
Our third example regards table etiquette and diplomacy. The Words of the Wise teaches,
"When you sit to dine with an official, look carefully at what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a voracious man. Do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceitful bread."
A similar advice in Amenemope instructs,
"Do not eat food before an official while eating at length before him. Look at the bowl that is before you and let that serve your needs."
An interesting parallel refers to the human aspiration for wealth. The Words of the Wise warns,
"Do not strain to get rich. Leave off your staring. If you but let your eye settle on it, it is no more, for it will surely make itself wings like an eagle's and fly off to the sky."
The Egyptian parallel also employs the bird as a metaphor.
"Do not cast your heart after wealth. Do not throw your heart outward. Do not strain to seek superfluities. Should their place be seen, they are there no longer. They have made themselves wings like a goose and have flown to the sky."
Another saying in the Hebrew collection cautions against dining with a stingy person. The wise teacher explains that misers are hypocritical. They only pretend to be willing to share their meal.
"Do not eat the bread of the stingy man, nor desire his delicacies, for it is like a gate in the throat. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You eat your morsel, you vomit it up."
The Egyptian sage offers a somewhat different version of the same instruction.
"Do not covet a poor man's property, nor hunger for his bread. Do not be greedy for the property of a great man, nor fill your mouth rashly with a big bite of bread. The property of a poor man, it is a blockage in the throat and makes the gullet vomit. The big mouthful of bread you swallowed, You vomit it up.
The concentration and prominence of the parallels suggest a direct literary dependence. In the following lectures, we will discuss the origins, nature, and exegetical implications of this finding.